windy in it.
What's up, everybody? My name's Casey Francis O'Brien, and I'm your favorite homeless guy. And I'm out here just hanging out. This is gonna be one of those monologues, but it's gonna have a lot of juicy, important stuff. Some good content in here. So, very quickly, I just wanted to say how grateful I am that I found such a cool place. If you look at Eddington, that new movie Eddington that came out, how the background was that red sun. It's gonna be hard to see, but there's you can kind of see it, that big red circle is right here. And that was gonna be my album cover. And in the Eddington, you can see that there's kind of scratches in the design of the sun, just like there's the holes in the boards. And isn't it cool that on my birthday and Christmas of 2023, I drew this cabin, and then 3 months later, the exact way that I drew the scene of the little boy wandering through the forest alone, scared after a big run-in with the evil, he finds the king version of me. The little boy version of me finds the king version of me, sitting here with a beard, smoking and blowing a little fireball that knocks a leaf down and it burns in the shape of a heart, and he's sitting there wizened from years of battle and depressed. And then the two go on this epic odyssey to get the little boy back to his home, while the world tries to steal the little boy's power and gain access to his dimension. And they have to, I'll say it, in the final battle where the Vikings and the evil wizard and the townspeople are all getting together outside the garden, which is protected by a dome projected by his family that he's keeping safe in the garden with the castle keep. When they all gathered out there, and there's the big battle where Casey has to go, King Casey version, the grizzled king hiding in the abandoned castle because he had lost the war. When he finally has to fight them again to protect these children that he was trying to save, this group of kids, he brings them to the basement into the cabin, and they have to keep this fire, this little tiny candle, alive in the basement, because if it goes out, all hope is lost. So the two kids are in the basement trying to make sure that the fire doesn't go out in this little everlasting candle, while King Casey goes into battle, and his true power is revealed, where he doesn't want to use it because he doesn't want to fight anymore, and he doesn't like hurting people. But they're finally about to break in. They sent a demon to attack his mother, and it's revealed that the reason that the dome was protected was because his mother, who was in an A-frame cabin in a little tower, chose to sacrifice her mental health by staying in this constant battle with this demonic force, because it was generating the bubble that was keeping the entire family safe, while Casey was working to keep them and fix them slowly in their little tiny cages, this family that had turned into monsters. His dad was a bear lion beast running around in circles screaming at itself. His cousin was transforming into a dragon and trying to break out to kill everyone, and her mother was walking around cleaning up her mess, saying, "I'm sorry about the mess." And then his other cousin Jesse had turned into this demonic evil tree monster trying to grow into and infest the garden. So he was trying to save them every day. But then when they get to this thing, he finally just snaps, and then he turns into this big black shadow monster and sucks up all the life force energy from them, like drains all of them and leaves them lifeless, and has to go up against their monsters as this black dragon. with the war, and I had the whole beat planned and everything. But basically, I had a great day at this Celtic Fest, the 33rd annual Celtic Festival here. And I got invited to church. I had this big meeting with God, and they prayed over me at the church. So you can expect some backlash from the enemy. So today's a 4-day, September 4th. On another 4-day, the 31st, here's the crows. I guess somebody showed up here and I have 24 hours to get my stuff off the property. Or it says they're going to, the police will be called to remove you. Which implies that they will grab me and drag me out. That they'll come up here and get me. And if you guys have been following the channel, you know the whole point was to make this into something amazing. Imagine a safe place here to preserve this 100-year-old structure forever. It becomes a historical thing. It's 100 years old. If you look in there, it says 1940 something in the cement. So I was gonna fix this up and preserve it, make sure no one can touch this historical landmark. Then I was gonna clear the brush from everywhere, build a trail through here. Eventually I thought wouldn't it be cool for the college, because their automotive center is right there, wouldn't it be cool for the college to open a wildlife rehabilitation program and to have a little fenced in area for wildlife that are sick? Because there's no place nearby here. So people, aspiring wildlife refuge people that don't have the property or the space for it, could operate down there to work on rehabilitating owls with broken wings, or birds, raccoons that are sick, stuff like that. Down there. And then over there, near where we would put the driveway, we could put a little gym, a pull-up and dip bar, because for people that need an outlet to get it out and need a safe place to walk around and yell and be outside instead of cooped up in a socially dominating each other, basically a war zone of privilege, fighting for ego in the gym against people that have fought to the death. Like, imagine being a homeless person who'd survived sexual abuse and violent trauma, and then you go in there because it helps your PTSD, and then you have a bunch of prissy little white kids trying to dominate you, stand next to you while you're working out, trying to suck out all your life force to try to get girls with it. If you look up Brian Boru, the way I'm standing, look at it, Brian Boru, that one painting they have of him with his nose. So that would be really cool. Eventually I would want to put maybe a cement block up there, and then you could get one of those winches that you attach to like a really, really heavy tree, clear out a straight space, and then tow a camper up here, put the camper there. Register this as something that is like a preservation, something you can get a grant for. Then grow microgreens for the health food store. Find a way to make money from this. Pay for it. It's only 60 grand. I just couldn't find the owner. And at the end of it, it turns out the owner is the state of Vermont. And I called the police when I saw this note, and they were like, "We know you've been there since the spring." And I was like, I wasn't hiding. I just wanted people to stop trying to kill me. It takes a long time to heal trauma. It took a long fight to fix these problems. And I came back to this place excited. I have contractor bags. And the plan was to start cleaning up a mess I didn't make. to leave this better than I found it. Half of this is not mine. So they're sort of forcing me into a ride-off into the sunset scenario. And they think it's going to be this big fuck you. And I'm like, man, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. If that's the proper term. I thought we had moved past the low vibrational, aggressive ego power games. But it seems like some people are still heavily involved in that. Like the dispatch at Randolph Police, who got so angry she kept hanging up on me. And I'm like, do you have a personal problem with me, or do you talk like this to everybody? I don't like your attitude. And she's like, I'm not arguing with you. I said, there's no argument to be made here. I'm just trying to talk to you. And the other state police, if you remember, they were the ones that stole my car when I said, hey, thank you for letting me keep this at the park and ride. I'm finally getting rid of it. I found someone to buy it. It will be gone by Monday. And then they took it to sell it for themselves. Mosquito on me. They're the ones that tried to search me illegally. And then after I tried to get them in trouble for breaking the law, they stole things out of my car. And then they would go next to my car and they'd rev their engine. And then either that guy or another one from that department got arrested for beating and raping his wife. And I'm like, you guys go through so much work to defend yourselves, but you take such horrific action against the community. Is it the money? Don't you, like, they would make more money doing something that they enjoy, you know? It's not hard. If they're competent enough to be a police officer in such a stressful environment every day, they can learn how to day trade. It's not that serious. So they're dodging my calls. They keep saying they're going to call me, but they're putting the call off. So I'm assuming because it's Thursday, they're going to wait until Friday, and they're going to try to make an arrest so that they can keep me for the weekend. Because that department is just people that like to make people's lives worse. They don't help the community. They devote their time to scheming on how to hurt someone more. And I just can't understand it. I don't understand why they're like this. Without taking into account the devil. It's got to be the devil. It's got to be some malevolent force that's profiting off harvesting people's emotions through fear rituals. They're using them as toys to instill fear in people so that when they freak out and they're hurt and traumatized, all that emotional energy goes to them. But when you get to that truth, it's just one step away from realizing that love is abundant and God is here. I got way more bitches being an aspiring, loving person on a mission than I ever did trying to control an empire. So, I can't sleep. I was excited to come here and sleep and clean, and now I have to do battle against the evil landowner who's just sitting down the road and won't talk to me. Wouldn't it be so easy for me to be like, hey, I'm trying to make your property better, You know I'm a good person. I don't commit crimes or do drugs. And if I'm gone, somebody else is going to be here. And that somebody else probably won't be anything near what I am. But when I'm like, what's next for me, God? And then I see an image of me sitting at a computer making my songs. And I see a mountain and I'm hiking. I'm seeing me with a drone taking album cover pictures with me and a guitar. I see girls that are happy and like cuddling on me, that love me unconditionally, as much as they can. Female nature, red pill. You know? But they're never gonna take me away from this. The only way is if the next person that they hurt gets so mad he spends his last $10 on a tank of gas and just burns this whole place down. He might even buy a Temu ghillie suit, wait in a tree, wait for the cops who don't wear helmets, and go out swinging. They keep poking bears. They love poking bears and they think that they're hunters. You'd be surprised the amount of homeless people I've met that can make a bomb with $5. And I wouldn't do it because I have a life to live. But these people are at the end of their life. And their life has been horrible. It's been violent. It's been sexually abusive. They've been kicked down so much they can barely think. Except, I know if I just get to the next place, and then I just get up, and then I do this one thing, and then I get up and do this one thing, to have a piece of shit cop come and kick them. Eventually they're gonna snap. So I wanted to call this place Sanctuary. Casey's Sanctuary. And remember, I was gonna leave that park and ride, but then God came down and said the word sanctuary. And I saw a vision of a garden. And then I wandered into the woods and found this place. For people like me that need help, and the only help that they can have is a place to hide and rest and hang out with the robins and sleep at night when the forest gives you a big hug every night, and you meet the Fae, and you meet the mantis beings and the blue aliens and the Lyran people and all the angels and your spirit guides and your ancestors, and they come down and heal you and help you and show you who you really are and remind you of who you were before they tried to take your light. And then when you're lost and don't know what to do after that, because you're going to be alone in the world, then I have a gym. I have an easel to paint, to work out. E-bike program so you can e-bike and DoorDash for money. Starting your trail through your own business. And you just have to rake sometimes. Then I have animals, a little petting zoo, where you can hang out with animals that give you unconditional love. And then volunteer options in the community, so you can hang out with like-minded people without the restrictions of the United States government, where you can just be allowed to chill, play an instrument. Make the world a better place, because that's what humans innately want to do. Humans are not destructive at all. If you leave them alone and let them rest, all they want to do is make the world a better place. When you trap them in a box and you take away their resources and you put them into survival mode, then they start to compete, but not really. They mostly collaborate. It's just when you place power and governance and territory, when you try to colonize them, they get angry. The only reason people would ever fight is for sex. They want the bad bitch. That's all it is. With food, you can just grow it in the ground. There's so much space on Earth to feed everybody. I guarantee you, the excess food we throw out could feed the hungry people across the world. It's not hard to feed the world. At all. It's just delegations of attractive partners. So, I'm assuming that these police have mommy and daddy issues. And that's why they're mad. Because if there was a guy squatting on my property, I would want to talk to him. I wouldn't wait down the road scheming like a little goblin. I am gonna get him. He can't walk on my abandoned property nobody has gone on for years and everybody lives in. He can't make my drug den a better place. I need junkies to overdose there. So, I can't sleep because I'm expecting a phone call from the state police. I don't know. A mosquito flew into my eye. I'm assuming because they're on fuck you mode, they're going to try to haul my shit to the dump just to laugh about it. They'll come all the way up here and get all my stuff out for no reason, just to haul it to a dump, so that they have that nice story that they can just keep in their mind to make themselves feel better. And I don't know why God, why is God doing this? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me why God would be doing this? Right when I get here excited with the contractor bags to start cleaning. And I bought the home gym. Now that my shoulder's sort of healed. I still can't do push-ups, but I'm gonna try. I don't know. Why did the kids try to throw the log on my head? That wasn't for resources. That was a product of suburbia, has created these vile children. I don't think a group of African kids that were 14 from a village, I don't think they would show up at my tent and try to kill me. I think we would all laugh together and run around in circles going, ah! But if this is the last video on the property, I want to say thank you for Vivek and the Fae and the Pukwudgies and the Mantis and the aliens that I met all the times that I rested here and I felt the forest, how good it felt to walk around and be free, how good it felt to shit in the woods. Crossing that river over there, back and forth to the park and ride, sitting up there and charging my stuff, seeing the view from Randolph Center for the first time, being able to see these mountains for the first time when I woke up that morning after they towed my car, walking around the park and ride at night in the winter when I first started making these videos. And I'm grateful for what the isolation did. I'm glad that they ostracized me, because it built it built this beautiful inner world that I lived inside to escape the outside. I don't think under any other circumstance I could have built such a beautiful thing inside to experience, to be hiding in my own body, suffering, causing me to build this beautiful place that eventually grew into the outer world. My inner world grew like a tree until the outer world was just as beautiful as inside. I just wish John Michael could have seen it. He was supposed to be here. I would fantasize about making funny videos with them here, and letting my mom build her A-frame cabin, and bringing a camper up here for my dad, and then saving our money to buy property for them on a beautiful hillside overlooking a giant view, and then having some type of technological way to make money from my computer so that I could adventure across the world, making funny videos and meeting beautiful women and having fun, playing songs, playing guitar by the river in Oklahoma or Alaska or Hawaii, going to California with an army and storming Venice Beach, vlogging, going crazy. Bringing my autistic Chad superhero armies to parties and watching them freak out and learn how to talk to people. Just for them to betray me, obviously. But for a brief moment, I'd be able to have that experience, which I would cherish and keep sacred. So, this is a big mess. There's my portable shower I never used. There's my Ohana Means Family that I found. The laundry, which is really cool. Bucky Barnes. The Big C. My pull-up and dip bar with my no trespassing sign from Morrisville. My winter coat. My golden shoes. My throne. Let's see what's in my notes. I am angered in my lack. This is I Need Routine, February 15th. I am angered in my lack of consistency because I know and have been known the greatness achievable. If I get buff and strong, it all works better. My heart is my greatest gift. John Michael, and then some other place that was ripped out. John Michael and I were like two branches of the Celtic braids. We'd start out together, leaving our own adventures, coming back to show what we've become. Our life was pursuing and then performing what we learned. And let's do an animal joke book. Let's go to X. What did one X-ray fish say to the other? Sometimes I don't know what I see in you. What do you call a yak astrologer? A zodiac.